Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pop Chat. Happy Friday. We made it. Busy week in pop culture. We're going to cover a lot. We've got the Grammys. There's some Super Bowl chatter going on. It's going to be a big weekend. So thank you all so much for joining. I'm really excited to dive into all the topics today. So go ahead, introduce yourselves in the chat. Hey, Shreyas. Great to see you. Tell us where you're joining from and what you do. And I'm going to need all of you to send me some good luck today because I'm solo parenting at the moment. So we're hoping that my daughter stays asleep. I did the blackout curtains and the white noise and everything. So hopefully we don't have to cut this short because of a crying baby. But let's just hope she is sleeping soundly for this full hour. Hey, Benjamin, happy Friday. Hey, Rob. So let's dive in. Keep saying hello. Oh, Tony on YouTube. Okay, yeah, we have a YouTube crowd here as well. Thank you. I love the commitment, So I appreciate you jumping from platform to platform. So if you are new to Pop Chat, if you don't know who I am, just a little bit of background. My name is Brienne Fleming. I graduated from the University of Central Florida, as you can see here, with my beloved Backstreet Boys. They didn't graduate with me, but the Backstreet Boys did start in Orlando, where UCF is located. After that, I kind of climbed a corporate ladder for a few years, then decided to get my master's at the University of Florida, where I currently teach in their social media master's program. So if you're interested in checking it out, let me know. I host a podcast called Making the Brand. I live in Jupiter, Florida. And you all know I love to fangirl and talk about pop culture. So it seems like you all do too. Hey, Yella from across the pond. Love to see it. Lathan. Hello. I'm Rapali, coast to coast. No worries. No worries. I know it's a busy Friday for a lot of people. Rob is across the pond too. So appreciate it. Michelle, also coast to coast, but on the west coast of Florida. So, hey, Michelle. So, yes, if you haven't said hello yet, what are you waiting for? We don't like to lurk here. We like to get to know each other and have some fun. So tell us who you are and where you're joining from and what you do, because unlike what the Backstreet Boys say, I do care who you are and where you're from. If this is your first time joining Pop Chat, what is it? Well, it is a beautiful fusion of marketing, pop culture, community, and connection. A lot of you here are marketers, social media managers, creators, creatives, or just pop culture fans. So we're going to go over the trending topics this week and take some insights from them. So don't be shy. This is how it works. Just be you. There is no one authority here, no matter what your background is, whether you're an intern or a CMO. All perspectives here are welcome. So share your thoughts, reply to others, connect with other people here, send some DMs to some new friends that you might get here, and just have fun. Hey, Christian. Hello. Happy Friday. Nicholas. Yes, Pop Chat is back. We're in month 2. Thank you all for bearing with me. Hey, David. Oh, fly on the wall. That's okay. Let us know what you're working on, David. You're always doing cool stuff. Maria's here. Hey, John Christopher. Missing Brazil. Aw, from South America. So happy to have you here. Kyle from the Sam's Club pharmacy line. Whatever we can do to make that line go faster. Yeah, love the sweater. Hoping to wear. Oh, the Pop Chat sweater. Yes. Let's go back to that for a second, Amrapali. So, I assume you're talking about this hoodie. This is a picture of Britney Spears playing basketball in high school, and her team name is Pop Chat, thanks to some great Photoshop friends that I have. We did that as a giveaway. Maddie, one of my former students. Awesome. So happy to see you all. Okay. First of all, let's start with an icebreaker. Let's have some fun with this one. Who is on your concert bucket list? I have this question because I'm a little heartbroken now because there's someone on my concert bucket list right now, and I got the email about tickets, and I don't think it's going to happen. My answer to this is Kenny Chesney. He is going to be at the Sphere in Las Vegas, and it turns out getting to Las Vegas as a new mom isn't as easy as it used to be. Oh yes, Rob's Popcorn. We are big fans. Hey Vicky. Vicky's on YouTube. Yeah, Amrapali, there's a way to fix this. I don't remember, but maybe someone in the chat has the deets. Rihanna. Rihanna was in the news this week. I wish I had time to cover it, but she is, you may have seen, she's kind of out of her hiatus now. It took the Smurfs movie to get her out of hiatus. So hey Chris. Yeah, it's working on how to say, what do I do? Yeah, keep practicing. This is a safe space to do that. One Republic and Adele. I want to see Adele's residency. I don't think it's happening anymore. I think it's over. Kelly Clarkson is doing another little mini residency in Vegas. I need to get out there. I tweeted yesterday that I would be so broke if I lived in Vegas, and my friend on Twitter said, "This is so funny because I know it has nothing to do with gambling. No, it only has to do with all the concerts." So, just had a Coldplay concert in India. Shreyas, stay tuned because we're going to talk about Coldplay for a little bit in our Today in Pop Culture History. But first up, famous birthdays. We're going to throw it back a little bit. Ashton Kutcher is 46. We have Chris Rock is 59. And the great Steve Nash, league MVP Steve Nash, is 50 today. Also, hashtag holidays. It's Bubblegum Day, so maybe indulge. National Send a Card to a Friend Day. And also, did you get the memo? It's National Wear Red Day in support of heart health. So if you haven't yet, go change. Yella, this is so true. I want some more of Brienne's favorite artists to tour through Europe and London. Yes, when I saw the Backstreet Boys in London, I got a chance to also meet up with Yella. So I was just fangirling all over the place. Beyonce, epic choice, always was on a good show. Beyonce, I've seen her in concert, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. She must be exhausted, though. Fleetwood Mac, Sabrina Carpenter, yes. Bubblegum Day, yes. Let me know your favorite bubblegum brand. Always want to see Teddy Swims. Yes, he was a hot topic at the Grammys this week. So let's do a little pop culture rewind on this day in history. In 1964, pretty cool, the Beatles landed in New York for the first time, and Beatlemania began. This was their first visit to the United States, and they were greeted by approximately 3,000 screaming fans. And 2 days later, they appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, which had 73 million viewers. That's pretty major, especially in 1964. To a lot of people, I don't think every household even had a TV in 1964. So that's pretty major. As you know, they're legends. And more on the Beatles in a bit, thanks to a question that Kyle inspired. We're going to get to that. And Shreya, there's Coldplay. So on this day in 2016, Coldplay performed at the Super Bowl. Does anyone remember who played in the Super Bowl? I have the answer. So there's a little fun fact I can share. And it was the first time that Beyonce performed Formation. And Bruno Mars kind of stole the show too. So I kind of think people are saying that Coldplay kind of became an afterthought here, but go watch it back. It's a really great halftime show. And any guesses? Hey, Emma. Emma, are you still in Hawaii? Is that where you're still living these days? So jealous. But yeah, in case nobody remembers, it was the Broncos versus the Panthers in 2016, and the Broncos won. Okay, trending topic. So like I said, let's keep it going, talking about the Beatles. They won their 8th Grammy. It was for Best Rock Performance. And I want to say, I mean, does this really count as posthumously if Paul and Ringo are still alive? As you probably know, they have their single Now and Then that was artificially altered. Oh my goodness, Johan is here. Coldplay halftime show was fine. Yeah, I just fast forwarded to Beyonce. Love that for you, Emma. So they added some of John Lennon's vocals to this using AI, and they won Best Rock Performance. So this is kind of a two-part question. I want to thank, again, Kyle for sparking this because he brought this to my attention, and I think it's a great debate here. Should AI-generated music be eligible for awards? This is just like a precursor. So just give me a simple yes or no. Your initial reaction here, yes or no in the chat. Oh, Shreyas, yeah, you could probably stream it somewhere. Yes, AI bringing back the Beatles. I know my dad was happy about it. So, yes or no, should AI generated music be eligible for awards? While you're thinking on that, I'm going to go back actually and tell you who the other nominees were. So, we had the Beatles at one, the Black Keys, Green Day, Idols. I don't know who they are. Pearl Jam and St. Vincent. We've got a good mix. Vicky says no. I'm Rapali no. Michelle, yes. Separate AI awards. Interesting. Maria, yes, but feel free to keep it going. I initially, didn't really mind this, but then it's like, where do you draw the line? Like, could this happen after all four of them have passed and they're just posthumously winning Grammys and beating everyone for all eternity because they're the Beatles? This really was put into context for me when I looked at all the people that that lost. Green Day lost, Pearl Jam, all these artists that are actively putting stuff out without AI. I wonder how they feel. I'm curious. And it kind of reminds me, you all probably know this, but Taylor Swift has been re-releasing her Taylor's version of her albums, and she intentionally said she doesn't want them to be eligible for Grammys because it's kind of just like a redo. So I feel bad for these other artists that kind of are losing out because of AI. So warming up with this topic, what precedent does the Beatles Grammy win set for the future of creativity? Is this a slippery slope? Johan, the ultimate hype man, is here. Yeah, Kyle, like I said, he sparked this question and his thought is a big fat no. We'll see if he can chime in the Sam's Club pharmacy line. Separate category. No, thank you. Hey, Rachel. AI awards not in a human category, please. I know. Then it's like, okay, who else can we bring back? Like, can TLC bring Left Eye back? Can Aaliyah submit, with AI? Like, where do we draw this line? I know Whitney Houston would probably sweep everything. Rob says the award should be for best use of AI to make music, but not versus a person. Okay, that's interesting. Like not using AI to mimic a person's vocals, but using it to just enhance the art. I think that's interesting. Maria says, but I do think there's more AI music out there. It can have a category of its own. Yeah, I think that's a good thought. Nicholas says, it's weird to recreate someone's sound without consent. Worried labels are going to slow new artist development and invest heavily in existing sound under the guise of new music. Ah, interesting take. Systematically created to win, not about honoring the art, which award shows can be debated on whether or not they uphold them. Yeah, don't think them winning makes a difference. The fact was, the fact it was made means it will justify it in the future. Yeah, I think it's like the Beatles won. Yeah, they were voted. Bring back Prince. Use of AI is rewarded, so more and more people will try it out. Yeah, loving your perspectives. That it is not a person receiving the award. It can be a mixture of different voices that are real and not true. Yeah, we can all just make our own AI and maybe win some Grammys. If it is non-human, it should not be eligible. I understand why they did this and it's cool and innovative, but should not be qualified for an award such as a Grammy. I have to agree, like make it cool for the fans to enjoy. But like I said, I feel like the other nominees got burned a little bit. Separate category, but not in competition with human artists. Families might own consent. Yeah, I just think about Selena with a comment like that. Her family is always, talking about her estate and stuff. AI is basically the world's best beat makers mixed with the best rappers and vocalists in one. Yeah, John Christopher. So what do you think about using AI for the vocal portion of the song? It's worrying because the amount of regenerated artists is limitless. Yeah. And not going to lie, those people are and were more talented because tech couldn't make them better. So people who are gone and also didn't consent are winning against current creatives. Ooh, yes. It's not super by setting the precedent that AI can win a Grammy that gets more AI artists flooding the program. Before long, AI generated artists or art would push the flesh and blood artists out. Yeah. What are we doing? Anything for Selena's. Yeah, Selena's can come back as AI. That's about it. Seems like it might create even more complexity with rights management and creative licenses, similar to things that always come up with sampling. Ah, yeah, I didn't think of that. Next up is replacing actors in films, painters with robotic arms. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, wasn't there a Bruce Willis ad that did this where he was entirely artificial? I don't know. It's getting scary, guys. Wish I could go to the When We Were Young festival since I'm a huge. Okay, what happened to the metaverse? Is that still a thing? Like, couldn't we go to the When We Were Young fest in the metaverse? Are we still pushing that? I don't know. That's the next best thing, I guess. So keep sounding off on this, but we have to move on to Queen Bee. This is a stark contrast because I'm going to read you a quote from a New York Times article about Beyonce's win for Cowboy Carter. She finally won Album of the Year. It was a long time coming, which, as you know, deviated from her usual R&B kind of pop sound. It's a country album. And in this New York Times article, it said, when announcing the project, Beyonce said she had chosen real instruments like banjos, organs, and strings, and eschewed artificial intelligence and digital filters. So Beyonce is kind of a purist in this sense. Like, she is winning Album of the Year because she took a more, traditional route and didn't want to digitally alter or artificially alter her album. So did Beyonce recently get canceled? Who knows? I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, she's winning Album of the Year and got a lot of praise for it. Who isn't getting canceled? Johan says, not to say that AI music isn't fun to listen to, but it seems weird to group it with human artists. It feels off, like an uncanny valley thing. Yeah. And especially when it's like posthumously, I don't know, it's a little odd. I think I see this getting tired, and I don't see how the business of this works for the labels. They can make music, but they can't really tour. Yeah, they can't do interviews, they can't do ads, or all the other money-making parts of the business. You are right. They can go see Ringo on tour. And I think Paul McCartney is still out there a little bit, but yeah. So let's talk about Beyonce, though, because she won for Cowboy Carter. Again, she explored an entirely different genre. So I want to ask you, when it comes to creatives and kind of being put in a box and sticking to genres and expectations, in your opinion, what are some rules in marketing that you think are out there that feel outdated or restrictive? To elaborate on this, I guess, how do you feel boxed in creatively in marketing in your field? I'll give you a second to think on that. Hologram tours. Oh gosh, it's getting weird, guys. I mean, I'll probably do that if that's what it takes to see the Backstreet Boys when I'm 90, but it's just weird. What are some rules? How do you feel boxed in creatively? I do love when AI mixes random genres, but not for creating new music. Yeah, I think that's a good distinction. Mm. Speaking of that, Jesse, what did we think of Chapel Roan and her speech? I saw she went back and forth because someone from the label or a former record executive was just saying how it's not super feasible for them to pay artists a living wage. And then she's like, okay, well, let's do our part. I'm going to put up $25,000. Will you match it? So things are heating up. Nicholas says, love Beyonce's take here. I was a professional trombonist forever ago, and there's something to be said about protecting the integrity of art. Absolutely. And like I said, this is in stark contrast to the last question. Music is just so sacred, and if we muddy it this much, it does hurt the integrity of it. I love that, Nicholas. I think trying to adhere to best practices by marketing gurus often make you stick to a script. When we have seen a lot of great ads come from doing something different. Yes, one of my favorite quotes, Sally Hogshead. I say it all the time. She says, it's good to be better, but it's better to be different. So if you can be different, that's going to be what makes you different, what makes you stand out. The rules are changing weekly now, Rob says, to the point it's hard to plan more than a few months ahead. Are there any rules now? Yeah. We're all just winging it, it seems. Having to ask the seniors before posting. Yeah. Wait, Jesse, I'm confused. Tell me more. We're going to talk about Chapel Roan in a bit. Shreya says, build it and they will come. Without strategic distribution, even great products go unnoticed. More ads means more sales. People tune out spam. Trust and engagement drive conversions. Stick to one platform. Omnichannel presence is key. Meet your audience where they are. Shreyas, this is so well thought out. Boom, boom, boom. You've got 3 rules here that make you feel boxed in. So I love how you are debunking them. And I'm going to give you, where is it? Oh, wait, I have it on mute. Woo. A little sparkle, because I love that answer. Oh, wait, it's going to play it again. Hold on. Woo. Okay. What else? Content formats, templates, video length, these constantly change, and these rules also change because of people trying out new things. Yeah, I'm exhausted with the algorithm, and YouTube shorts and reels are now 3 minutes, but let's bring back Vine because we want 6 seconds and it's all about short form. But no, let's also do long form. Like, just make good content, and if it's good, we'll watch it no matter how long it is. Like, that's the rule. Rachel says the worst box in marketing is if we can't plan it, we shouldn't post it. There's a lot to be said for in the moment content, but plenty of companies don't want to be commenting on flash in the pan stuff, so their content reads stale. Yeah, I love that. Or like they're just doing marketing in their own little bubble and they're not engaging with what's topical. They're just in their boardrooms and aren't looking beyond that. Yeah, the Beatles, legends. Amrapali says, needing too many sets of eyes for approval that by the time it comes out, content is either not the same or behind the times. Preach. I'm thankful. Even when I worked for a pretty big brand, I never really had to jump through a lot of hoops for approvals. We just kind of did our own thing. I'm sure at this company, there's now more red tape, but what can you do? So many good ideas die. Kyle, rules. Yeah, he loves to talk about this. Who needs them? Need to just do what you want and forget what Neil Patel and all your friendly neighborhood experts say. Talk about what you know. Create it how you please. No rules. Amen to that. Amen. I hate this rule. The customer is always right, but only in regard to client feedback. The next one that comes to mind is anything to do with hustle culture. Yeah, thankfully, I think that's dying. Be on all the platforms. No, let's all break that rule and just hang out on LinkedIn and YouTube, I guess. Benjamin, I feel content formats are too formulaic and keep brands and creatives from being creative. Also, a lot of supervision. If you hire creatives for a job, trust them to do that job because a lot of the time, timeliness plays a huge role in what performs well. Yeah, like Amrapali said, those hangups for approvals. Ooh, so many great answers, everyone. Let's see what wait, Emma says having to cater to business leaders' ideas rather than deeply understanding audiences. Yes, Emma. Oh my God. I had a client. I don't want to give too much information, but it was a biohacking company. And the CEO wanted to change the logo to a lizard because suddenly he really liked lizards. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, but they did it. So Chris, press releases can be very formulaic and stodgy. I like to break away from the old school press release format and make them more engaging beyond just the here's what the newswire expects format. Ooh, and you should connect with Maddie because she wants some tips on that. Maddie's in PR. That's interesting. I like to break the rules with cover letters too. There's lots of different, templates and, the professional way to go about it. Oh, bye, Amrapali. Thank you so much. Maria is over hacks. Everyone's always trying to hack away at success. Sure, some of them work, but I think in general, they're fleeting. If you want real success, you have to work for it. Really comes down to that. Yeah. Does anything beat consistency and just showing up and doing the work? Not really. Outdated, flashy photography. We like the scrappy. Thank you, Vicky. This is music to my ears. We have to be careful praising machines. It's a huge topic. Yeah, still on AI. Okay. Now let's move on. Speaking of Chapel Roan, Jesse, keep sounding off, but I can't get Pink Pony Club out of my head. It's really bad. It's not bad. It's great. It's a great song, but it's like on loop. So Chapel Roan performed Pink Pony Club at the Grammys, and it had its highest streaming day yesterday. But what you may not know is that this song came out 4 or 5 years ago, and her label rejected it at first. So I want to read you this little blurb from the Wikipedia. So Pink Pony Club had its biggest ever streaming day on Spotify with nearly 4 million streams. It hit a new peak. And you can see Chapel Roan looks really different in the promo art because that was a long time ago. So initially, Roan's label at the time, Atlantic Records, tried to dissuade her from releasing the song as the company thought it deviated too much from her past songs, leaving Roan devastated and making her second guess herself. Relatable. According to Roan, Atlantic Records refused to release the song for a year before they relented. Pink Pony Club was officially released on April 3rd, 2020. Sounds like a great time to release music. April 2020, as the lead single to Roan's then upcoming debut album under Atlantic. However, the album was shelved after Roan was dropped from the label that August. No wonder she wants insurance and a livable wage. You know, she's working with a label and then they drop her. But this is a happy ending. In the aftermath of Roan leaving Atlantic, the ownership of the masters for Pink Pony Club and her other songs were transferred to Roan. So, did anyone know this already? Let me know if you didn't know this. I hope this is brand new information, as Phoebe from Friends would say. But what is this? What is a lesson that we can take away from this? Just the fact that she made this song 5 years ago. It was rejected. It was shelved. No one believed in her. She was doubting herself. And now it's getting 4 million streams in one day. She's performing it at the Grammys. She won Best New Artist. Like, let me know what you think. Chris is sounding off with his tips. Big fan of adding images right onto the release. That is refreshing. Forget about trying to squeeze all the facts and branding right into the opening. Make the opening more like a story that grabs the user. Thank you, Chris. I'll give you some little some sparkles. Sparkles. Okay. People suck. Yeah. Labels ruin everything. Johan says the powers that be don't often know anything. Yeah, that, your experience and your critical eye and your taste might not always be on the pulse of what people really want. Shreya says, just trust and believe in yourself. If you feel it hits with your audience, go for it. Love that. Told that whole story about getting dropped and coming back and hitting it off. I'll have to watch that. Please drop the link for me, Jesse. I also know she did a Tiny Desk concert, which I haven't seen. So I want to check that out. Lathan says the music industry is very different. When you are signed by a label, which can be vital, you are at their mercy, so you do not have guarantees. So I can see why the label has all the cards. Taylor Swift would warn against this. Got to have good contracts in place. Christian says, keep going and trying no matter how many times you get told no. She's been in the industry for a very long time and even considered quitting, but gave herself one last chance, and look where she is now. Yeah, I think the Grammys was such a career-defining moment for her. Best New Artist, and I think with a lot more to go. Keep moving forward till the wheels fall off. Simple. Own your stuff. Let creatives be creative and just keep swimming. Yes. It's kind of like what we've been saying, and the theme of this is that everything needs someone else's approval. Like, no. Just put your stuff out there if you can. Own your own stuff. Kyle says it just proves that record label executives don't really have the artist's best intentions in mind and also don't know anything about the market and what it wants. Yeah, these are the people in the seats, though. What do we do about this? So wait, I'm curious about how Chapel like went about re-releasing it. Like, how did it get this newfound attention? Is it because she released Good Luck Babe and then people were like, wait, what else does she have? Did she do something different? I'm really curious. Chris says, don't give up. I've had projects and ideas go dormant only to find a use for them months or years later. If you care about it, you'll find a way. I love this. Lots of motivational stuff here, guys. Thank you. So yeah, I can't think of that song and listen to it the same after I heard that context. I think it makes it even more meaningful. By the way, we are at the halfway point. How good is my little angel? Still sleeping. So let's hope for 30 minutes of sleep so we can get through this. Okay. We have to talk about this. Babyface. I'm sure you all saw this, that two reporters that were interviewing Babyface on the Grammys red carpet just kind of interrupted him mid-sentence to get Chapel Roan's attention so they can interview her. And Babyface could not have been more gracious, despite how rude it was. He was like, oh yeah, go ahead, you know. But it was being streamed live. And those reporters are getting grilled, just canceled to the max. The Associated Press released an apology, and after they did that, there's been a bunch of articles saying that all these fans are rejecting the apology, and they're asking where are those girls' resignation letters. Charlie Puth, Khloe Kardashian, and Dionne Warwick even spoke out. Yeah. RESPECT. Yeah, close enough, Benjamin. But man. So last I checked, I think those reporters, their Twitters are gone. He's an absolute legend, and I don't even think the reporters knew who he was. Embarrassing. Yeah, I feel so bad. So question on this. If you were these reporters, how would you recover? Let me know, because I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever work again. And I feel really bad. You know, everyone makes mistakes. I hope they apologize to him directly. They might have been under a lot of, I'm sure they were under a lot of pressure, and Chapel Roan, you know, they really wanted that interview. He's clearly a hot topic, but man, talk about being put under the microscope. Lathan says it's very disrespectful. It's nice that he was chill. I get Roan as the person in the moment, but you have to stay professional and respect everyone's talent and fame. Absolutely. Yeah. And this goes back to our discussion a few weeks ago about journalism and, you know, standards that are in place if you're a true journalist. And this was just really poor form. Ugh. What's this acronym? Heard Dionne Warwick on what would something. Don't tell me who would do. I don't know. She's awesome, and her Twitter is the best. Yes, she's hilarious. Oh, thank you. I'll check this out, Jesse. So, how do we recover from this? Would you just change careers? Rob Kerson's like with anything, own your shit. They could turn this into a positive situation with open dialogue and willingness to learn. I agree with this. I agree. My only thought is if they try to be positive, that doesn't mean they're not going to be met with more negative and just people who just cancel and refuse to forgive and don't have that that willingness to hear from them ever again. But yeah, they become better journalists, maybe earn some respect. Yeah. They're just having a really bad week. Wait, don't tell me. Oh, okay. Thank you. Shreya says there's no coming back, but such is the profession. Apologize and put it behind you is what you can do. All that money spent on schooling to get that journalism degree. I don't know. And it's interesting because if they were journalists in the age of newspapers and radio, this would likely be forgotten. But now their names, you can't even Google them. They can't look for another job, even if no one knows who they are. They're going to know what happened. So Yella says, I hope they apologize in person. Me too. Perhaps they could as well do some sort of rectification. In essence, apologize in front of the media. Yeah. And yeah, directly to Babyface. I think that is key. Justice for the respectful reporter. Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, they keep lumping both of their names. And it was the one reporter who called Chappell, and then Babyface already said, like, go ahead. And the other reporter apologized, but they're lumping her in with the one. And what was she doing? She was like falling over or like listening to an earpiece or something. Anyway, but if I've been terrible like that, I'm asking that man if there's anything he would prefer I do to pick up the pieces. Yeah. I wonder if that's what hurts the most, like personally hurting Babyface. I don't think they can recover. The least they can do is apologize. There should have been other people with AP working to get Chappell to come over. Yeah, there should have been someone like kind of scheduling. I don't know, such a high pressure situation. I think they missed the boat on fixing this one. They should have beat AP to the punch and apologize first. Any apology after that feels forced. Yeah, and can we check this? Did they? They did. I haven't seen an apology. I know AP did. And like I said, one of them deleted their socials. I don't know. Did they apologize on air at all? Let things cool down and then make your statement. Don't expect that it will do much right away, but the fact that you did it will mean something at some point. They may not ever be forgiven. That's part of the territory. Maybe they're better off for it. I think you're right, but I hate that. This is life. Like, comes with the territory of being human and making a mistake and owning up to it. Oh, there was a producer. There was a producer whispering in her ear. What if the producer? Yeah, I saw she was like doing something. What if the producer told her to interrupt and get Chappell? I mean, there would have been a way to go about it. I'm sure the producer didn't say, hey, yell and get Chappell. Like, they should have said, like, pardon me, Babyface, please excuse me, or let the other reporter continue it. Oh, and now that producer, their name isn't in the media. That producer is kind of unscathed. I will say that the AP reporter with the darker hair definitely seemed to be upset with the other reporter. You can kind of see her elbow her colleague when it happened. Yeah, and she apologized. But I don't know, her name is already dragged through the mud. Ugh. All right, let's see what Emma has to say. It's hard to come back from. I would do a debrief with the whole team on how this happened because they handled it poorly, but there were producers, leaders, etc., guiding them to make these decisions. Excellent points. You could see someone's arm reaching out behind her. The whole thing is weird. You could tell one reporter was not happy with the other. She looked mortified, and yet her reputation is ruined as well. I hate it. I hate it. I think we're all human. We all screw up. We all have messed up at work. I've cried at work before. Things go wrong, but I've never had it broadcast on national television. So, okay. Shifting gears to sports. I don't really know much about this, but I know it's a big deal. We're going to keep this brief, though. Luka Donicic. Is that how you pronounce it? I know he's Slovenian. Star of the Dallas Mavericks was abruptly traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't have a question on this, but I want to show you this interesting tweet from Tyson Hutchins. This is major because apparently this guy was like the franchise. And when this happened, he looked at this through a marketing lens and he said, I can't fathom the number of assets, physical and digital, that Luka is featured on in Dallas. You put him on everything because he's the face of the franchise, but also you're extremely confident he'll never be traded. My best guess going to cost $1 million plus in updates alone. Doncic. Doncic. How is it spelled? I'm not going to try. Did I spell it wrong? Donicic. Okay. I'm going to move on from that. But this is a reality of the marketing aspect of it. I thought this was really interesting. Let me know any thoughts on this, or if you've had to do anything similar. Oh boy, baby's awake. Baby's awake. She's going to entertain herself for a few more minutes. Let me know if you've had to do anything like this, if you've worked with anyone and had to kind of strip their likeness of everything. In my last job, we had a photographer that we used for kind of out-of-home advertising across a franchise network, and his contract with us expired, and none of the franchisees would take down his photos. It was like so much work and communication to get them to comply and take it down. And he kept billing us and billing us and billing us until it was all down. It was a nightmare. Okay. To put it in perspective, it would be trading AJ McLean to NSYNC for. Okay. Now I get it. I get it. Thank you, Lathan. I appreciate that. I saw someone tweet asking them to explain in pop culture terms, Destiny's Child traded Beyonce to TLC for Chili. Oof. This is and I love that you chose AJ, Lathan. I don't know if I've said this publicly, but I'm going to put it on the record. I kind of hate to do this, but if I had to pick one, AJ is the lead singer of the Backstreet Boys. We don't talk about this enough. Brian has the voice of an angel. Nick gets all the love, but AJ, the vocals, the verses he gets. All right, like I said, baby's awake. I got to get through this. Feel Good Friday. Share some good news. Tell me something personal, professional. Tell me about an accomplishment, something you want to recommend. A shout out to a friend here. And I'm going to keep reading about this Luka stuff. It's why I don't recommend branding corporations around the CEO, because the CEO could get fired for misconduct and the brand wants nothing to do with him. Yeah. Putting your brand, putting a face to your brand and the human behind it could have some challenges. So much media is invested in the face of the franchise. It reminds me of when LeBron left Cleveland the first time, but now it was in the middle of a season when the team was in contention. Yeah, there's more to the story, right? Justice for AJ and JC, 2 letters each, and each have been spurned. Yes. Jesse, what would be an appropriate sound effect for that? Like, that's like a mic drop. Let's see. I'll give you applause, but that yes. Justice is needed. Okay. Oh, Johan, I left my previous job and started my own company in October. Yes, Johan, aren't you doing events? Let's see. I worked on a coffee brand with a famous TikToker. Eventually he pulled away and we had to gradually remove all connections. It didn't work. Uh-oh. Yikes. Yes, the Kevins of the pop world never get enough love. BSB, and they're like the best looking, I think. I mean, I go back and forth. It's a toss-up, but yes, justice for all of them. Christian, I'm continuing to reach out to people and grow my new business. My theme park and travel blog is slowly starting to see some growth. I didn't know you had that, Christian. Please drop the link. I'm in the mood for a water park. I'm a big fan of water parks. I haven't been to one in decades. But I could really go for one. Okay. Yay, that's so fun. Okay. Cool things. Working on a great internal project for our creative agency and it's going well. Feeling happy and can't wait to put it live. Please report back. Awesome. Okay, let's jump into some industry news we have to talk about. Speaking of Wear Red Day, the American Heart Association. This was so fun. They got some press. It says these Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar, and Chappell Roan's hits have the perfect tempo for life-saving CPR. And it's all because of these posts that their social team put together saying that these songs, I just said it, have the perfect tempo for CPR. And it was timely. It was relevant. Didn't Kendrick win something? Won record of the year? So that they're kind of missing that. Maybe they did that earlier in the show or something. I don't know. The AJ for Lance Bass trade scenario only had me saying, but then they'd have two bases. You guys are funny. Yella, just done with scheduling all these posts for our upcoming campaign. What a great feeling. Now time for the weekend. The last 15 minutes of Pop Chat. Yes. It's that Friday feeling. Okay, so this is kind of just a broad general question, but I loved this, especially a nonprofit getting press like this. Didn't cost them a penny, just a little creativity. So, not Alex Earl yet. What do brands have to gain by tapping into pop culture? Maybe try to give me like a short answer for this. I love switching things up. Like, give me like a one-word answer in the spirit of time and my baby that's about to start crying. In one word, sum it up. What do brands have to gain? Oh no. Oh no. She's crying. She's okay. Record and song of the year. Yes. Yeah, and now he's going to perform at the Super Bowl. Let me know what you think about this. Relevance. Hey, Dana. Welcome. Relevance. Understanding the assignment. Short and sweet. He swept every category. Ooh, I didn't realize that. Relatability, relevance. Yes. Beat me to it. Yeah. Wired into everything. We enjoy being in on it. Yeah. And it's where the people are. And clearly, one thing they have to gain possibly is press because things are topical. So I absolutely love this for them. It, like I said, didn't cost them anything. And yeah, distinction. Ooh, Emma, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. They're not even talking about really any other brands in connection with the Grammys. So the fact that they did this, they didn't have a commercial. They didn't, they weren't there. Credibility, visibility, a shared audience. Oh, yay. Thank you so much for joining, Dan. I really appreciate it. Happy Friday. Okay, wrapping up, let's talk about, keep thinking of your one-word answers, but let's talk about this headline. Carl's Jr. returns to racy advertising years after abandoning their bikinis and burgers. The burger chain dropped its sexualized campaigns in 2017. Now the company has returned that approach with an unapologetic, bold social media personality, Alex Earl. Go Canes, I guess. She's from Miami. 11 million followers on TikTok. And she's very scantily clad in this commercial. So I'm curious your thoughts on this, but it reminds me of Queen Britney in 2002 around the Super Bowl and her Joy of Pepsi ads. They had this picture of her in Times Square, and you thought Pepsi looked good next to a cheeseburger. You guys can hear her? I know. It's not a full-on scream yet. She's okay. She's playing in her crib. I'll get her in a second. So I've asked this question before, but I think it's always evolving. Where is it? Does sex still sell in advertising? Give me a yes or no. Give me your thoughts. So American Heart Association, kudos to their team, the speed and sheer brilliance of putting the beats per minute and life-saving together. Wish I was on that team. Yeah, I was trying to find out who the agency was because I wanted to tag them and give them some love. They clearly don't need more love because they're in People and in the press. But yes, Anne Kendrick accepted all those awards in a Canadian tuxedo. Yeah, little nod. So does sex still sell in 2025? What do we think? Carl's Jr. can lean into nostalgia, but those ads never really did much for the brand's growth other than brand associations. But granted, there is me neither. There is no Carl's Jr. near me. Yes, it does. Not in the traditional sense. I'm okay with this. I mean, Alex Earl, I think she probably picked her outfit for this shoot. And as long as she's okay with it and she doesn't feel objectified and it's what she's going for and she's getting her check and she's fine with it and likes feeling sexy, like, do what you want to do. Still sells. Absolutely. It depends. Shreyas, please elaborate. But yeah, I was surprised to see this because it seemed like brands were really playing it safe. And I don't know, are we going to get like sexualized music videos back? Like early 2000s music videos? Um, Everything is cyclical. Yeah. Let's pick this up again in 2050. Okay, guys, I've got a crying baby, so I'm going to just hit on this last point here, but keep sharing your thoughts. This one's for you, Jesse, because I know how much you love Barnes & Noble. We have to talk about BookTok really quick. They have been revived thanks to TikTok and BookTok, and they're opening 60 new stores. There's going to be one very close to me that's opening up, actually. And the article I was reading about this in Fast Company says there's also a recent rise in third places, which are gathering places outside of work and home where people meet or where people can go to be around other people or meet friends, like coffee shops, bars, and gyms. Bringing sexy back. Oh, I was right there, Michelle. Thank you. I totally missed that. You know, my brain doesn't work in JT and NSYNC lyrics as often. Oh my goodness, that's a whole other topic, Rob. I heard that his wife isn't gonna face any legal trouble. You know why she's crying? She doesn't have her binky. I gotta go give her her binky in a sec. Not in the same kind of way. Millennials and Zoomers are ready to call out the icky stuff, and now you have to use your noggin to make it work in the new way. Yeah, so we'll have to see. I wonder if there will be more just sexy ads. We shall see. So my last question, kind of a personal one. Do you have a third space where you have found community outside of work and home? And while you're letting me know your third space, I'm going to go give my girl her pacifier real quick so she could be a happy camper. I've already said I've never really made friends at the gym, but maybe you have. So let me know about your third spaces and keep sharing your thoughts. I will be right back. Okay. Gonna have to go in a second, guys. The library. Yes, Chris, I was reading a book about this earlier. I'm gonna send you the chapter, but it talked about how a library came back because they really embraced this and they did like cooking classes and all these cool things. Craft beer community in Phoenix, community of internationals here in Frankfurt, where I've made most of my friends. They do events each week. Coaching circle. Christian, I've joined a community of queer people that do line dancing and other forms of dancing like two-step. That is so fun. Whole Foods bar. Ooh, that is a nice little hack. I I would love to sit at the bar places more often. Which book? It's called Reset. Hold on. I just read that part this morning, and Chris, I know you're reading one book a week for the whole year, and I'm so impressed. Reset: How to Change What's Not Working by Dan Heath, and it's in chapter 4. Wow, I'm only on chapter 4. I feel like I've been reading this forever. How could that be? No, chapter 9. Okay. Thanks, Rob. Oh, she seems to be settling back down. We'll see. Made friends with my wife's roller derby team. Otherwise, no, but I really do need to get out and meet actual people. Me too. I've made friends with my neighbors, but it doesn't really count as leaving home, does it? Adult Sports League. I joined an outrigger paddling club. Oh, that's awesome. You all are so much more than your jobs and this marketing stuff we talk about all the time. How fun. My work book group is a nice escape. We get together and discuss during lunch breaks. So I went to my first book club meeting last night. I didn't read the book. And I warned my friend, like she asked if the group chat wanted to join a book club. I didn't answer because I don't know how to say no. And then she texted me individually and said, do you want to join the book club? And I was like, I'm going to be delinquent because I don't read fiction. I'm weird. I didn't read the book, but I still had fun. I guess I get a lot of interpersonal stuff from working at the Barnes and Noble. So maybe that's the answer. Yeah. Hey, Jeffrey. Karaoke. That's awesome. Drop your karaoke song. So happy you could join us. Chris, I'll have to check out his other books. I saw his book listed in an article that Adam Grant put out this year. It was like books that you have to read. Oh my God. Imagine waking up to someone singing Pink Pony Club while giving you CPR. That would revive me for sure. Audiobooks. Love the community theater idea. On stage, backstage crew. It's a great way to meet great people. That's awesome. I take my daughter to like a music class every week where we sing songs, and it's really for the moms, it seems like. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm meeting a lot of other parents, so that's kind of fun. That's my little karaoke. It's kid songs. Karaoke does connect. Take on me. All right, upload the video, Jeffrey. We're gonna have to see it. Awesome. I'm so happy you all have found these third spaces. Maybe we can treat Pop Chat like one because it's kind of not really like work. All right, let's talk helping hands. Share something you need help with right now. I want to know. Oh, and I forgot to share my what do I call that little check-in? My Feel Good Friday. I am going, speaking of Barnes and Noble, I'm going to a writer's group on Sunday because I'm trying to write a book, everyone. And it's not going well when I stay in the four walls of my house. So maybe that'll be my third space. Share something you need help with right now. I think this chat is a little delayed again. Sorry, everyone. Share something you need help with right now. If you're looking for a job, if you're hiring, if you literally are doing anything, how can we help? Let us know. And you can always help me by spreading the love about Pop Chat. If you had fun today, post about it, invite a friend, mention it, share it in your Slack channels at work. If you all want to just not work and Slack, need to be on the pre-order list. Oh, thank you. Can we all help out in some way? Oh my goodness, hold me accountable. Maybe I'll do like a word count every week and I have to report back to you guys. But thank you. That alone is very encouraging. And I think just me putting it out into the open and manifesting and not just having it as an idea in my head really helps. Jesse's raising money for the Special Olympics by jumping into a very cold river. Ooh. Drop the link again. Emma's been writing more, but she has some short form content, but I'm not sure where to put it. LinkedIn, Medium, where do we put stuff these days? Ooh, Emma, please connect with Maria. And have you thought about a newsletter? This is probably not a good place for you to share ideas with me because I'm going to give you more work. But connect with Maria. I bet she has some thoughts. What? Jeffrey, you were ahead of your time to perform Pink Pony Club before it was like so mainstream. You are right on trend. Oh, thank you. Looking to build my own PR business and looking for a job. Yes, Maddie, I have had my eyes peeled, especially locally. Zoom calls. Happy Friday, everyone. Substack. Oh, that's a good call for Emma. Thanks, Maddie. Weekly writing prompts. Ooh, Jesse, share them on LinkedIn, dare I say, or unless you're writing just for fun. Share my business with anyone who may need SEO services. Love this. All right, I'm going to wrap with just, and in case you missed it, because there was just too much going on. The Buffalo Bills released this amazing video about Josh Allen and his involvement with pediatric, I don't think they're all cancer patients, but a lot of ill children. And yeah, I'm a Bills fan now. So go watch that. It's really powerful. And yeah, who are we rooting for this weekend? Let me know. The Oscars are coming up. Conan O'Brien is hosting. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to get canceled. Who knows? And marketers, you're going to love this. Kendrick Lamar on what people can expect from his Super Bowl halftime show. He says storytelling. So you're going to have a field day with this. Yes, connect on your writing prompts. Maybe we need like a little writers group. I don't know. Kyle's looking for podcast guests. Kyle, share the like the premise of your podcast so people can know if they're the right fit for it. Okay, I think she went back to sleep, but we're gonna call it in a second. Thanks, Rob. Johan, if you know anyone in Phoenix, tell them about Exceptional Vibe, my events business. Also, any feedback on my website. Ooh, okay, I shall check that out. Awesome. All right, everyone. Like I said, keep this going. 2:00 on the dot. But keep this going. Chat with each other. You know, I know they always say like community is, what's that saying? Your personal brand is who you are when you're not in the room or when you leave the room. What I'm trying to say is, even when I'm not here, I would love for you guys to connect amongst yourselves. So join a virtual writers group. That sounds good too. Maybe we start a virtual writers group. Project. Break the brand. It's about breaking the rules of marketing, doing cool shit, creativity. Shreyas wants to chat. Super Bowl is a lose-lose. You either get a Chiefs three-peat or you get Philly fans climbing lampposts and eating horse. Oh, I'm glad Brandon's not here. Brandon is a Philly fan. Yeah, so we're just watching for the commercials, aren't we? Have a great weekend, everyone. Wish me luck at the writers group. Hope you had fun today. And yeah, please share my newsletter with your friends, coworkers. No AI writing allowed. Be yourself. Everyone have a great weekend. Thank you, guys. See ya. Bye.